Hello and welcome to Sports Today's Morning News Wrap. I am Siddharth Gulati and I'm going to bring you all the latest updates that made the headlines on different newspapers and on various digital platforms. So as always, as it has been a usual drill, let's just begin with some cricket news and specifically something related to India's ongoing tour of England. Well, one thing is all but confirmed now that Jasprit Bumrah is going to miss the fifth and final test against England that's going to begin tomorrow. That is the July of 31st. And this is basically keeping in mind his long-term future with the Indian test team. So there was a discussion that was reportedly that took place between Jasprit Bumrah and the Indian team management, including Gautam Gambhir and the medical staff. And they suggested that Bumrah should be kept out of the fifth test here so as to prolong his test career and also make sure that he gets adequate rest ahead of the all-important tournaments and the test series that are going to take place in the next few months. So Bumrah is all but certain to miss the Oval Test, and who could really replace him there? Well, more than likely it's going to be AajTak who will make his return to the 11 in place of Bumrah. AajTak had a terrific match at Edgbaston. He took a 10-wicket haul, did not really do well in Lords, had to miss the Manchester Test due to an injury, but now he's fit and is all set to return to the playing 11. Well, let's just move on here. One of the most important sponsors in the World Championship of Legends has pulled out of the upcoming India versus Pakistan semi-final match that's going to take place tomorrow. Once again, that is July of 31st. The name of the sponsor is Ease My Trip, and they have clarified that they are opting out of this clash here by saying one thing, that they cannot really be associated with an event that attempts to normalize to be associated with a nation that actually promotes terrorism. And in this particular case, Ease My Trip, they were talking about Pakistan, and they have made it very clear that before business, it's the nation that comes first. And it's obviously pretty much echoing the similar sentiments that someone like a Shikhar Dhawan had done, that during the league stage match of India versus Pakistan in the same tournament, WCL here, Shikhar Dhawan had clearly stated that he's opting out of that match, and because of it, there were other players also who opted out, and that's why that particular game was called off. Well, let's just move on. Travis Head and Josh Hazlewood have returned to Australia's limited over setup for the ODI and T20I series against South Africa. It's going to be a home series for Australia here, featuring a total of 3 ODIs and as many T20Is. Both players here, Travis Head and Josh Hazlewood, they had been rested for the recently concluded T20I series in West Indies that Australia won 5-0. Well, also Mitchell Santner is going to lead New Zealand in the first test against Zimbabwe that's going to begin today. Well, New Zealand's incumbent test captain Tom Latham has been ruled out of the first test due to a shoulder injury and faces race against time to be fit for the second test here. But one thing is clear, that these 2 test matches of New Zealand against Zimbabwe, they are not going to feature in the World Test Championship cycle of 2025 that's going to last until 2027. And last but not the least, some good thing here. Well, for the women's football team, the India women's football team, they have been drawn alongside Japan, Chinese Taipei and Vietnam for the women's AFC Asian Cup that's going to take place in Australia in 2026. Recently, the Indian women's football team, they defeated Thailand 2-1 to qualify for the AFC Asian Cup. Obviously, that's going to take place in 2026. So 3 opponents for India here: Japan, Chinese Taipei and Vietnam. That's about it as far as the morning news wrap is concerned. Stay tuned to Sports Today as we'll bring you all the latest updates and analysis from the sporting world. There's going to be a lot of content coming your way with respect to the England versus India Oval Test. There are going to be those press conferences, could be another controversy that hits the series once again. There are going to be a lot of things to be said about the Ben Stokes handshake controversy too that took place in the Manchester Test, and obviously a lot more interviews and good things coming your way in the next few years.